11, local first.
Police arrest an Ephrata man on simple assault charges following a domestic dispute over the weekend. Plus, it's time for fireworks and a double check on your safety for backyard July 4th celebrations. But first, a home explosion in Manor Township that killed a UGI employee. Good evening, I'm Holly Harrer. In the aftermath of yesterday's explosion in Manor Township, neighbors and emergency personnel are addressing concerns on what you should do if you smell gas in your home. News 11's Brendan Leslie joins us live in the studio to explain what steps you should take if you're in a similar situation. Brendan?
Holly, there's no question, especially after yesterday's terrible incident. If you smell gas in your home, you need to take it extremely serious no matter what.
The key thing is, if you smell gas in your home, evacuate the home immediately. Take your pets and all family members and evacuate the home immediately.
A smell of gas was reported in Manor Township yesterday afternoon. Shortly after UGI workers arrived at the scene, the house was leveled by an explosion, killing one of the crew members inside. Emergency Management Director of Lancaster County, Randy Gockley, says this traumatic event is a key reason why all gas leaks should be taken seriously.
Do not turn light switches on, off. Do not use cell phones if you smell gas. Go outdoors until you no longer smell gas. If you feel you can safely open windows before you leave the house, you may do so. But if the odor is strong throughout the house, do not hesitate. Get out of the house immediately.
Federal investigators are currently on the scene trying to determine the exact cause of the blast. Roberto Gutierrez lives next door and says UGI workers told his son there was no need to evacuate moments before the explosion. His son and dog were able to escape with some cuts and bruises. Now Gutierrez is picking up the pieces after a confusing and emotional experience.
Frustrated and sad at the same time. You know, someone did lose their life. We've worked with some of these UGI guys before, and it is a sad situation. I thank God that my son was able to make it out.
Although this catastrophic event is an extreme scenario, Gockley says gas-powered homes have a strong safety record.
Historically, gas has a very good safety record. However, periodically they have catastrophic events like happened yesterday in Manor Township.
There's still no word from investigators on what may have caused this explosion. Gutierrez and 3 other homes are displaced until a structural engineer examines the structures. But for now, reporting live in the studio, Brendan Leslie. Holly, back to you.
All right, thank you, Brendan. An Ephrata man is behind bars this weekend after a domestic dispute in the borough. Police were called to the first block of Park Avenue around 2 a.m. Saturday and arrested 30-year-old Jose Antonio Vega Garcia of Reading. He's charged with 1 count of simple assault with bail set at $75,000. Prior to his arrest, Vega Garcia was out on bail in relation to a previous charge of simple assault and endangering welfare of children. He is currently in Lancaster County Prison and has not yet posted bail. Also in Ephrata, 49-year-old Colleen Gallagher is in Lancaster County Prison after a domestic dispute. Just after midnight on Sunday, Northern Regional Police were called to Perseverance Lane in Ephrata. Gallagher was seen walking in the area and was arrested without incident on charges of simple assault. Anyone with information is asked to contact Northern Lancaster Regional Police. Well, it's looking like the weather is giving Independence Day celebrations a green light. Meteorologist Dave Allen has more in our first look at the forecast.
First Look Weather is brought to you by The Wagon at Weaver Markets. Check out weavermarkets.com for this week's menu.
That's right, Holly, but unfortunately we do have a couple of red lights to talk about as well tomorrow. Now, predominantly we are looking at a very nice forecast. However, we do have the chance for a strong afternoon thunderstorm tomorrow, but that's about it. If you're wondering if the fireworks are going to be okay, they should be tomorrow night. I'll have the details on the rest of the week coming up in just a few. Holly.
Thanks, Dave. Well, Rita's is starting up their annual campaign to raise money for a great cause. Throughout the month of July, they'll be asking for donations with every purchase for Alex's Lemonade Stand, a nonprofit that helps children with cancer. David Metzler, the owner of Ephrata Rita's, is extremely excited to contribute to this wonderful campaign.
I'm really excited about this program. This hits really home to me. It's near and dear to my heart, and I love as a business owner that we have such a great community here and such great guests that we know this program is really going to take off.
anyone who donates at the Ephrata-Ritas will be entered into a raffle to win fun prizes. The winners will be chosen on July 30th at their celebratory event, which will go on from 2 to 5 p.m. Well, with Independence Day upon us, festivities call for barbecues, pool parties, and of course, backyard fireworks. But before you break out the sparklers, it's important to make sure you take the necessary safety precautions so that you can enjoy an incident-free holiday. Lieutenant George Pappas of Lancaster County Northern Regional Police says there are just a few common injuries they see every 4th of July, but has tips on how you can avoid them.
The most common ones are probably burns. That I have seen. I have seen some in the past where there were explosive devices and people had some injuries as a result of the explosive devices from illegal fireworks and damage caused by that to property as well.
Pappas recommends always having a responsible adult nearby. Make sure you keep all explosive far away from your eyes and keep a bucket of water close to extinguish a fire. Police are reminding anyone who drives through Lidditz that there are several roads closed for the 4th of July parade. The parade starts at 6:30 on North Broad Street near Wilbur Chocolate, and this year immediately turns onto East Main, then onto South Locust, East Marion, and back onto South Broad Street. As a reminder, areas inside the parade route will be near impossible to enter or exit. Roadways surrounding the parade route will be slowed down from the increase in vehicle and pedestrian traffic. And if you can't make it out to the parade for the events at the park tomorrow, News 11 has you covered. We will start our live coverage of the Lidditz 4th of July celebration in just a bit with the parade at 6:30, followed by Rick Kay and the All-Nighters. And join us back here at 10 for the evening report. And for the main event tomorrow, July 4th, we pick things back up at 1 p.m. from the band shell in Lidditz Springs Park with entertainment all day. Fireworks are scheduled to start just after 10, so be sure to join us back here on BRC 11 for exclusive coverage of the 200th July 4th celebration in Lidditz. Well, there's still plenty of local news coming your way on the early report. The state budget was passed through to the governor on Friday. We'll tell you what this means now.
This park will soon be suitable for all children, including those with disabilities. I'll tell you how this park sparked a community's interest.
And later in sports, it was a drama-filled weekend for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Brian Cass will tell you if they are headed to the playoffs. Stay with us. Friday came and went, and with that, half of the state budget was passed. The House and Senate sent the governor a budget they believe takes small steps towards reducing the deficit. New investments, including funding for pre-K, grades K to 12, and the Pennsylvania state system of higher education. Cuts in the departments that protect natural resources and the environment have been restored, while radical changes in Medicaid and medical assistance have been rejected. No plan has been passed to secure revenue needed to balance the budget, but the spending side is expected later this week. A park that inspired a community is about to reach their goal of adding all-inclusive equipment to a local playground. It's their hopes that the existing linear park in Warwick Township will be accessible for all children, especially those with disabilities. Taylor Toshef has more.
Creating independence for disabled people is our mission, and so this playground fit right in.
The once known linear park of Warwick Township will be taking on a whole new name. Although it's not fully completed, Harmony Park is already living up to its name, welcoming all children to play together in a safe environment.
No, I got it.
The idea behind the park was started by Ambucks and Lidditz, a nonprofit organization dedicated to creating mobility and independence for those with disabilities.
It especially benefits families who may have a special needs child and a child that doesn't have special needs. They can play together on the same playground, which hasn't been possible up until now.
But the Harmony Park project would not have been possible without the support of the community.
Every service group in the community has donated to this project, and businesses have donated to this project in the community, and just brings the community together. Lidditz is a great community and supports every endeavor.
The community's support has helped to already install 2 pieces of equipment.
Here we go.
And once Ambucks reaches their $80,000 goal, they can continue adding on to the playground until it's complete. Caleb Finkbeiner, a father of 2 children, wants to see more playgrounds in the area follow in Harmony Park's footsteps.
We go to a lot of different parks, and you don't see really where they have anything for kids with disabilities. So I think it gives everybody a chance to get outside so that nobody's feeling left out.
You want to reach out to everybody, that, everybody can play on the same playground.
Reporting in Lidditz, Taylor Tosheff, News 11.
Dave Allen will join us next with a check on your extended forecast. Plus, Celebrate Lancaster kicked off on Friday. We'll show you the sights and the sounds. But first, here's a check on Wall Street at the closing bell.
News 11 weather, local first.
It was a beautiful day across Lancaster County. Now, we do have a cold front to talk about and some showers and storms out there. Let's check out where Chris Blows takes us today. He was out along 7th Street in Akron, and he got this beautiful shot. Blue skies, some white clouds in the sky. Now, we do have some changes to talk about. A cold front is coming through, and we're going to notice a shift in the wind, a very light breeze out of the northwest later on, and that's going to cool things off a little bit. But we're talking early July standards, not May standards. We're looking at a very nice night tonight once these showers move through. Now let's look at where we are right now. 87 degrees in Lancaster, winds west at 9 miles per hour, humidity 48%. That dew point a little high at 65 degrees. Now we're going to watch that lower as we head through the evening hours. Across the area, we are in the upper 80s, and if you look at across the area, we are looking at temperatures dropping as they move southeast. So you can see 76 in Buffalo. We're in the upper 70s now in the northwest corner of the state, and that's all thanks to that push of cool air from that cold front. And we still have a heat index out there, upper 80s, low 90s across the area, but that will be changing as we head through the evening hours. And you can see the cold front here vividly on the radar. You can see some of the showers and storms popping up just along Interstate 80. This is going to be pushing south, and it should stall around the Virginia area. Now, what does that mean for us? That means we are looking at not a perfectly sunny day tomorrow. We are looking at perhaps an afternoon shower or a thunderstorm, and that could be problematic because some of them could be on the strong side. So let's check out this evening. We're looking at mid-80s dropping down to the low mid-70s. Now, we do have that chance of a shower or a thunderstorm early on in the evening, but then things will be tapering down, and we're looking at a nice evening with a light west wind turning north-northwest as we head through the evening hours. And our highs tomorrow across the area, we should be in the low 80s across Lancaster County. Now, we should start out the day with some sunshine, and we could see some clouds build in the afternoon hours. Now, as far as the thunderstorm forecast goes for tomorrow, it's looking like late afternoon, early evening as the prime target for any of these storms. But once they hit, and then they're done. We're not looking at a prolonged period of severe weather. Strong thunderstorm or two lasting about 10-15 minutes, and then it's done, and you're back to your festivities. Now let's check out the local radar here, national radar, and see what's going on. We do have an area of low pressure across St. Louis, and that should be our game changer for us as we head into the latter half of the work week. We're looking at plenty of rainfall perhaps for Thursday night and Friday, but the weekend for this weekend is looking not too shabby at this point in time. So for tonight, we're looking at temperatures 65 to 70, a bit warm, but that cool north breeze will do the trick. Tomorrow, 80 to 85 degrees. It's going to be a nice day with the exception of that afternoon thunderstorm that I mentioned. And here we go at the 7-day. Yeah, it's a little unsettled. Like I said, that front is going to be settling just south of the Mason-Dixon line in Virginia. But what does that mean for us? We do have that chance of a shower or a thunderstorm each day, but it's very minimal. We're not looking at a total washout each day. You either see a shower or you don't. That chance is there. But I think everybody should be seeing some rain by Friday. But this weekend is looking pretty nice at this point in time. We're just going to have to wait and see. Plenty of differences with the models with that low pressure and when it gets here. Let's hope that it gets here before the weekend starts. Holly.
Thanks, Dave. We'll Celebrate Lancaster kicked off on Friday. The annual event celebrates culture and diversity and features something for everyone. Our videographer Ryan Rimby brings us the sights and the sounds.
So we start in January to put on a big event like this in June, and there's a lot of little details. There's vendors, we have 25 vendors out here. We have 6 bands, 2 stages. We have a lot of things going on. There's fun for the kids. There's face painting and all kinds of things.
The city itself is on an upswing. The diversity in the city is really cool. and the restaurants are great. And just doing an event like this, it brings people from all over the place to visit the city and see what Lancaster City is all about.
I just think it's a place for people to learn about one another, to hear good music, and to meet new people. My favorite part about Celebrate Lancaster is just the whole community coming together, people across the city and the county from lots of different backgrounds being in community together.
Good stuff. Well,
it's a party.
It is a party. And you're talking more party with some baseball all-stars?
Yeah, Holly. Lots of all-stars to talk about. We'll tell you who made the cut for games in both the Atlantic League and the Eastern League. Plus, a little closer to home, Legion baseball regular season's almost over. We pretty much know what the playoff picture looks like there. We'll break it all down for you. And it's all coming up next in sports. Stay with us. We will begin by talking about those Lancaster Barnstormers in the Atlantic League. They were on a mission this weekend to catch the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in the standings. They needed to win their games and hope the Crabs dropped a couple games to try to win the Freedom Division in the first half. And it all came down to last night's game where Garrett Weber was once again the hero. Stormers trailed 6-4 against the Somerset Patriots in the ninth, but then Caleb Gindle hits a solo homer. Sean Halton gets on base, and Weber socks a walk-off two-run shot. Stormers win it 7-6. Weber's been a revelation for the team since the departures of Blake Galen, Casey Hobson, and Darian Sanford. So the Crabs and Stormers now tied for first place in the Freedom Division. A tiebreaker game will be played on Friday, July 28th to find out who is headed to the Atlantic League playoffs. More Stormers news today. The team will be sending 5 players to this month's Atlantic League All-Star game. The aforementioned Garrett Weber will represent Lancaster. He's got 11 homers, 31 RBI, and is batting .315 since he's gotten a chance to play every day. Joining him will be the team's everyday shortstop, Vladimir Frias, who has been the glue that holds that infield together, and also Sean Halton. He's been heating up lately at the plate, 15 homers and 46 RBI so far this season for the big man. Now joining those 3 from Lancaster will be setup man Scott Schumann, who is not allowed a run at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and catcher Anderson De La Rosa, who has been behind the plate for 80% of Lancaster's games. Meanwhile, York Revolution sending 6 players to the All-Star game. Pitchers Brad Allen and Chase Hutchinson, catcher Isaiah Tejeda, infielder Michael Burgess, and outfielders Alonzo Harris and Travis Witherspoon. The Atlantic League All-Star game will be played next Wednesday, July 12th at the Somerset Patriots home field. More baseball in the Eastern League. Reading Fightin' Phils have won 6 straight games. Their All-Star game is also upcoming on July 12th, and 3 Fightins, Drew Anderson, Carlos Tochi, and Giandito Trump, have been named to the squad. Now, Reading completed a sweep of the Richmond Flying Squirrels this weekend, capped off by a 4-3 extra inning affair on Sunday. The Fightins now 19 games over 500, a 49-30 record. But the problem, the Trenton Thunder are having an even better season, 53 wins. So Reading remains 3 games back of first place in that Eastern Division. And yet more baseball to talk about. Legion ball, the regular season pretty much over. Effort Post 429 plays at Columbia tonight. That's the only game left on the schedule. So we now know what the playoff picture should look like. Effort has already earned a first-round bye, and either Columbia or Penn Manor will earn one as well, depending on the result of tonight's game. Those 3 will be joined by the Lancaster Hurricanes, Lidditz Post 56, and Marietta, all of which have claimed playoff berths. And playoffs get underway this Thursday here in Ephrata at War Memorial Field. And finally, to USA Field Hockey, the ladies currently in Johannesburg, South Africa, preparing for this weekend's World Cup qualifying. It's the Hockey World League semifinals. USA, the 6th-ranked team in the world, opening up against Chile on Saturday, and they're guaranteed to play 4 matches. The other 3 will be against India, South Africa, and old rival Argentina. But for now, that will do it for sports. We'll be right back.
Before we go, we'd like to announce the winners in our latest Facebook giveaway. Congratulations to Shelby Swigert of Ephrata and Stephanie Ann Love of Denver. You have both won 2 passports to adventure for Pocono Whitewater and Jim Thorpe. Our winners can choose between rafting, biking, or paintball for a fun summer day. Follow us on Facebook for future giveaways and how to enter to win.
And remember, tonight, it's all the celebrations. Oh, she's dancing already. Rick Kay and the All-Nighters, I'm curious to see how they're going to do. Have to follow Flaming Dick and the Hot Rods, who've been there for years, so we shall see.
And the fireworks, of course, the
Yeah.
best part.
Should be fun.
Yes. That's it for us. I'm Holly Hare.
I'm Brian Kaz. Have a great night.